Hello everyone, so today we're going to be checking out some of my absolute favorite perennial plant combinations that you can use in your garden. These are color combinations and also planting styles as well, which just work perfectly in unison. So if you've not been really knowing what to plant together to make really nice combos, then don't worry, I've absolutely got you covered, and I'm going to be going over some of my favorites in my garden. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing, and let's jump right into things. Why don't we start things off with one of my current favorites, which is Echinacea magnus or Echinacea purpurea with Echinops, pretty much any type. So with this particular combination, we are working here with pinks and blues, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. I don't know about you, but this combination to me is just so beautiful. It could work in a variety of gardens. You could work in more prairie style. It could also work really well in a cottage garden, I feel like, too. The sort of color combos that you'd expect in a cottagey garden. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I mean, both plants are so abundant in blooms. It's also worth noting that both plants are absolutely beloved by pollinators as well. Now, these are generally more suited towards drier, sandier soils. I will say with Echinacea, I feel like they need a little bit more water than Echinops does. Echinops is one of the ones that you can really just leave to its own devices. But definitely Echinacea and this one, Echinops, it's such a great combination. And there's a few ways you can extend this as well. For example, down here, I have Origanum Herrenhausen, I believe. I might be mispronouncing it, but you'll be able to see it on screen and look for it yourself, which is, again, beloved by the pollinators, a really low growing, beautifully colored, sort of light, sort of pinky colors. It kind of reminds me of a verbena in a way, Verbena bonariensis, just a bit lighter. And it's so beautiful. I mean, it looks absolutely stunning here in front of these. So, I mean, just look at that combination if I kind of move it over a bit. I also do have some Echinacea White Swan paired in as well, and I feel like that's another great combo. It really contrasts incredibly well with the blues and pinks. They really stand out. So yeah, there's many ways you could adapt and use this whole combination, with these guys being your sort of focal point. I really love it. I mean, again, all of these are beloved by pollinators. You'll see them on them all day. They also just keep on flowering. That's the thing I love about Echinacea. I mean, you can already, if we go in a bit closer, you can already see how many more flower heads are preparing to come up. So we can, if we want, actually just cut off any that are faded, kind of like these have started to fade. And yeah, we'll have even more to enjoy. Same with the Echinops. It can be dead-headed. I didn't really realize that, but again, if we kind of look further down, look, we can see where to dead head. So yeah, I absolutely love this combination. It's definitely one of my favorites. Next, how about a grass and perennial combination? Here we have at the back, we have the yellow Achillea, which is cloth of gold. To contrast the color, we have the purple Verbena bonariensis. Both of these plants are very airy and sort of weave in and out, so perfect for prairie gardens, but you could use it in other settings as well. And then to sort of cascade, we have the beautiful Calamagrostis, or Calamagrostis. I always say it wrong. I'm sorry. As you can probably tell from this channel, plant pronunciations aren't my strong point. I need to improve. But yes, Calamagrostis, Carl Forrester, beautiful. I mean, this three plant combination here, very simple but wonderful. All very tall. All of these get to roughly about 6 foot, I would say, which is really nice. So yeah, they're definitely very cool. I've gotten very distracted, by the way, because look, I've just seen this plane formation ahead of me. Usually I wouldn't show this sort of thing in the video, but it's kind of cool actually, and it distracted me from the filming that I was doing, so that's interesting. But yeah, it's a really nice combination of plants. I love the colors. The yellows contrast really well with purples and blues. So we've also got the Echinops over here, which again, we're going to talk about another combination like that soon. But yeah, I really love it. It's a beautiful combination. I think in general, Calamagrostis Carl Forrester just works so well with so many different types of plants. It is perfect for that prairie planting scheme, but also just low maintenance. It's really nice also if you don't want to have to be constantly watering things and constantly cutting things back. This is one of the best grasses you can have, so definitely one I favor. Now, if we move over here to this side of the garden, I have another perennial combination for you, which is Agastache Blackadder with Rudbeckia demi. So I absolutely love Agastache as a plant in general. It's probably my favorite perennial. Blackadder is definitely one of the absolute best in my opinion. It's so nice. I love the really deep color of it. It's a bit darker than Blue Fortune. It's not the hardiest in most places, but I've managed to survive here sort of in a southeast location, and so it seems to do pretty well. We also then behind it have Rudbeckia demi, which is very hardy, and it's a beautiful yellow perennial, but I love that combination. The sort of bluey purples with the yellows, almost gold color. I mean, what a stunning combination. And you've even got the Echinops at the back to kind of continue that theming on. Yeah, Rudbeckia is one of my absolute favorites. I will say, I used to believe that Rudbeckia was a dry-loving plant. This is definitely not the case. From experience, I can say they definitely wilt in the hot sun a lot, and they also do need to be kept up with water. Kind of like Echinacea, really. The sort of cone-flowered plants aren't really the most dry-loving plants. That's not to say they aren't prairie. That's not to say they can't adapt better than a lot of other things. But yeah, definitely maybe don't consider them to be as dry-loving as, say, the Echinops that we've got back here. Either way, this combination, what a stunning one. I think it looks so good this year, and it's really got me excited for when these newly bought Agastaches, which only added this year, get a bit bigger. You can see the one at the back is a bit taller than these two, and that's because it was in a pot from last year, so that one I've had a bit longer. But yeah, I also love how it moves around in the wind. I think it's stunning. We've also got it flanked with some grasses down here. Can't remember what they are. I wish I knew. They're very low growing grasses, but yeah, it's going to look very good. And again, we also have a few more Echinops sort of kind of in front of them. These ones are a bit more silvery, but still they look really nice paired with the blue. So yellows and blues are a really good combination. Same with yellow and purple, same with pink and blue. Those are color schemes, I think, that if you're looking for something really nice, that's definitely something you can focus on a lot. So some of my absolute favorite. Let's come to the front of the garden now, where the shade has set. Now, I can't really show you this properly because most of them are done flowering, as you can see, but we're going to go with GM Totally Tangerine and Aster Monch. You can also go with GM Totally Tangerine and Lavender, or really any bluey purpley flowers. So orange and blues and orange and purples look really nice, as you can see here. I think that's an absolutely stunning combination. This plant does flower very early, so of course it's going over now. It's just got the final bits of flowers to enjoy. I'm kind of keeping it up for a bit of structural interest. We also do have Aster Monch and Achillea terracotta at the back, which I think again is a pretty nice combination. For some reason mine aren't too yellow, and I've yet to figure out why. I'm not sure if maybe the garden centre that I purchased them from called them Achillea terracotta, but they actually weren't. Either way, they still do look really nice, I think. It's just, yeah, kind of not exactly what I envisioned. So I might need to get something a bit more orange to replace them with if they don't really turn more orange. But yeah, I love Aster Monch. It's one of my absolute favorite perennials, and I think it looks so good here with the oranges of the GM Totally Tangerine. The only issue is with GM Totally Tangerine, it is an early flowerer. So you might want to pair it with some other purple things. For example, you could pair it with Salvia caradonna. That's a really nice one that I love a lot. There's just a lot of different things that you can do. I think that will work really well in terms of pairing GM Totally Tangerine. It is one of the most popular new perennials for a reason, honestly. So yeah, I would definitely take advantage of it and try and just, pair it with as many different things as you can. Why not? Especially those blues and purples, they look stunning. So yeah, those are some of my favorite perennial plant combinations in the garden at the moment. Let me know what you've been enjoying down in the comment section, and definitely consider subscribing if you love gardening content.